Hey, what's up, everyone? You know, I woke up this morning and I just feel so good. Do you ever have one of those days where you just wake up and you just feel good? You got that little tingle and you're just grateful to be alive. And you know the day is going to go well. You just know it. It's that feeling that I have. I'm very grateful today. Well, I'm Minivan Lee, and I've lived in my minivan for 7 years now. This is my home, and it's my studio. This is my humble abode. I try to keep it as attractive as possible because I live in it. I want to have fun in here too. Now, I'm going to ask you to watch us all the way through to the end, okay? And please subscribe. You know, I'm so grateful, actually, that you want to spend a little bit of time with me today, about 20 minutes, okay? So what are we going to do today? I'm going to answer some questions I've been kind of holding on to. So there's going to be all kinds of things to talk about. And I'll try to answer quickly. I won't elaborate on every little thing, but seriously, stick with it all the way to the end. I got some really good questions from you. You are talking back to me and asking me things. And if you do want to ask me anything, just go ahead in comments. As you're watching it, just type it in, go, well, what about this? And then just send it. The video will keep playing. Okay, well, let's go. Let's get these questions answered. Okay? I love you guys. Mwah. Let's go. This is from Van Life, Mike and Bear. Okay. You are my inspiration. Love watching your videos. Stay blessed and stay cool. It's hot. Yeah, it's been a hot summer. So I've been watching and learning, but I am trying to figure out the best way to keep my dog happy and cool. So do I have any tips? Yes, I do. You need to have the same thing that I use. You need to have wind and water. Now, they do have, let me get this out. They do have, these are called chill pads. I've got 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I've been doing is when I'm not using them, I roll them up. So it kind of keeps it wet on the inside, because when they become stiff, it's a whole nother ball game. It's almost like bendable cardboard. It's really a great material. I mean, I don't know, you know. Whoever discovered this, the chemical engineers did a good job. My son-in-law is a chemical engineer. When I showed him this, he goes, oh, yeah, I know all about that. Yeah. They do have chill pads for dogs, okay? I think it's a pad. It's you look it up. It's type in chill pad for dogs. In fact, I'll do it and I'll leave it in there, see what I find. But you can also use these, just regular chill pads. These are frog togs and these are chill pads, okay? And you just wet them down and then they become very, see, it's still wet in the middle. See how easy this is? Yeah, but the ends of it is real stiff. But you can lay this on his bedding. Yeah, wet it down and have one just for him or her and lay it on its bed or wherever they're going to sleep, and it'll keep them cool. But the other thing, too, is to have, you know, maybe spray it down a little bit. He might not like that, but I know your cat wouldn't like it. But actually put the fan, have 2 fans, one that goes on you and one that goes on your pet. Leave the windows down. If you must go into the store, leave your windows down a little bit. Now, if it's a little dog and somebody might want to reach in and steal it, don't leave your windows down too far. But if it's a bigger dog, you can put your windows down a little bit further, okay? I will mention, if you're in Arizona, you can take your dog in with you to the store. Oh, yeah, they're actually sitting them on, I saw one, and they're not supposed to. You know, I mean, you can imagine why. I mean, on the shopping cart, you know, the front thing that you can put things in real easy, you put your children in it or whatever, they're actually putting a little towel down or whatever and putting them there. I don't really like it because some people are allergic to dogs and then they want to go shopping and there's dog juice or whatever, dog germs, you know, yeah. And plus we put our food on there. I just don't think it's a good idea. But I did see that. And I saw it 2 days ago. And I know that's not the case, but I think a lot of the Walmart workers, they're not into telling anybody what they're doing wrong, because people can get kind of, they can get aggressive and violent sometimes if you try to say anything to people these days. You all know. Yeah. So yeah, well, there you go. Those are my tips. Okay. Thank you for the question. This is from Michael Jimenez. What's that old saying? Grow your own. For real food, it's something we should all maybe be doing. Not maybe, we should be, if not already. And I had talked about the additives that they've been putting in a lot of foods. I mean, almost every food. It's getting harder and harder for me to find food to eat because I am determined not to keep being poisoned by their toxins that they're adding into foods. So, you're right, Michael. You're right. One issue that nomads have is that we don't have land. And a lot of times when we do buy land, it's undeveloped land, so it's kind of out. In a lot of cases, it's in Arizona or Nevada or New Mexico, places like that, where the ground is just a little bit harder to deal with. Costs a lot of money to get the ground exactly the way it should be to grow good food. It's got to be conditioned, and it does cost money to do that. But you're right. If you have a yard, if you have a backyard, I think it's a good idea to start growing some food and play around with it, learn how to do it. Thank you for that, Michael. Here's a really good question. This is right up my alley here. So here we go. Here we go. I know. I'll go on and on about this one. This is from SGES2HF. I can't even pronounce that, okay? You say, thank you for encouraging and touching on city life. Here we go. City life. Because I have to work, I'm going to have to stay in the city. Of course. I'm more afraid of that, but I have to learn how to stay safe. Maybe you can make a video on that. Yes. I'm going to talk about it right now, okay? Being in the city life. The city life for me. Well, there's some things you're going to have to do. If you're going to be parked in a city, you want to be stealthy. You don't want to be dragging a trailer behind you. You don't want a bunch of storage things on top of your roof. You want to have all of your windows being able to be covered at night while you're sleeping, okay? I don't know what area, you didn't let me know what area of the country you're in, right? Or even if you're in a different country, because there's nomads all over the world, right? Okay, so if you want to be stealthy, and the only time you have to be stealthy is while you're sleeping. Now, let's say that you do the night shift. You don't even have to worry about it, right? Because you can go find a place to park, cover up your windows, and sleep, find some shade, and sleep during the day. There's no big deal. But most likely, you're going to need to sleep at night. And if you're in a city where you're already working, you know the city, right? You need to be stealthy, okay? And you need to have window coverings. You want to be able to cover your windows. You don't want to be putting towels out over your window and then rolling it up and people can see towels hanging out. You know, that's pretty much, oh, somebody's in there. And some people say, oh, everybody knows you're in there. No, they don't. That's not true, especially in Arizona. Everybody has their windows, dark tinting on their windows, and they have their window coverings up. The windshield coverings, because they don't want people looking inside their car at any point, whether they're living in it or not. Okay. But you're going to have to find a place that you're comfortable. Try them out. I've got a friend, a really good friend in Chicago, okay? And she's practicing a little bit. She has always been on the lookout lately for a good place to park at night. She's actually starting to try them out. And she reports back, she goes, this place was perfect. It was on a street in Chicago. Well, not in town, downtown Chicago, but she lives in Chicago. And she says she noticed this place where cars are always parked. And I think there's maybe an apartment building over on this way. And she parked there and she stayed all night. And she woke up, she goes, nobody bothered me. It was great. It was great. So there are places you just have to find them. Experiment, Now, you did mention, I'm more afraid of parking in the city than anything else. Why? The chances of somebody breaking into your car are so slim. They just are. They're just, yeah. And plus, you can hear them out there. You can hop in your seat and take off. When I lived in a house, I had windows and doors. I had 3 doors, and I had lots of windows all around me. When I was sleeping, somebody could have easily hopped in my window or broken into the door. But in my van, I am so safe. I am so safe. I sleep better than a baby. They always say I slept like a baby. Sometimes babies wake up a lot and cry, right? Yeah, I don't know how good it is to sleep like a baby. No, I slept better than a baby. Yeah, I sleep all night long. And if something, it's like if somebody leans against your van, let me drive. See how it rocks a little bit? Yeah. Let's see if we can get yeah. If somebody leans against it, it rocks a little bit. Oh yeah, if somebody's even near my van, it'll rock and it'll wake me up. Believe me, you're going to be so safe. People do it all the time. People live in their cars and their vans and their minivans or whatever. Their ProMaster high tops. In California, they're everywhere. They're living in their high tops everywhere. Throughout California, these are professionals. They just want to save money and they're happy to move around and they have their favorite spots to park in the city. When I was I'll tell you a little story. When I was in Santa Cruz, I was solo. And I was at Santa Cruz and I found this one house to park in. Santa Cruz is sort of like an old hippie beach town. And a lot of people in their vans, okay? Well, I found this one house that nobody was living in it. It looked like it needed to be renovated. It was empty and it looked like it needed help, right? But it was on a main street. And I parked, I thought, well, this is perfect right here. It had a little driveway. I'd park right in front of it. Easy. Well, as it turned out, there was this ProMaster. And I saw him, okay, he was a young guy. He lived in a ProMaster, nice looking guy, a nice handsome guy. And when I would go there and I would see his car there and I'm like, oh, that's my spot, And I'd like, he's got my spot. He got here early. Well, and so I drive past and I have to go find another place. I didn't know Santa Cruz at all. I didn't know anything about Santa Cruz at all. But I just winged it. I mean, it's like, okay, well, this one's like a good place to park. Well, then I thought, well, I got to get to this spot earlier. So I did. The next day, he was early there too. We were having this competition. We didn't even know each other, but there was a competition going, who could get there earlier to that spot? I know. But then I found another spot. It was in front of a church. It was just on a regular road. There's no big roads in Santa Cruz, okay? It's a small beach town. So, and then I parked there. And it was perfect. And then I would spend time, this is just my experience. Then I would spend time, and this is California. Then I would think, well, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of the beach, right? And I would go in 30 minutes, I could get this really winding road, highway, I forget what the highway was, Highway 1 or highway, and got to Santa Cruz. Well, the first I went to Santa Cruz, and okay, let me start. First, San Jose, okay, from Santa Cruz, and then it goes up to San Jose. But I first went to San Jose first, before I went to Santa Cruz. Okay, let me tell this story right, okay? The very first day I got there, I don't like to go near the actual downtown, the congested area. I was on the outskirts. I was more residential, things like that. And I was going to go to this park. Well, as it turned out, the park turned out to be just really a golf course. Okay, now what do I do? Well, just by driving around, I looked at this spot on the road by the golf course. There were apartments over here, and it looked like a couple other people were parked there. When I was in San Jose, every night I parked there. It was great scenery too, because I could look out and there was a golf course. It was not this huge golf course, but there were trees and golf course, and I could almost watch the people on the other side coming in and out of their apartments, and they were nice. That's where I parked every day. Down the street was a park. It was sort of near a school, but it was a park. And it had great shade. Within one day, I found where I could go. One day. They're just there, right? You'll find it. Don't ever be afraid. You'll find these places. Okay. And then I discovered, okay, well, Santa Cruz isn't too far away, so let's go see Santa Cruz. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And I spent pretty much the summer there. Yeah. But I would go back and forth. I needed a break from the beach, and I would drive to San Jose. And I would go right to that park, kind of shake out the sand out of shake the sand out, right? And and because I'd been so much on the beach walking, do you ever walk on sand? I mean, you can really get good muscles walking on sand. I mean, even my feet, you could see, they were so tanned, you could see white in between my toes. It looked white. I was so tan. I got way too much sun. I got some brown spots. Now, the castor oil has taken those brown spots away, but I did start getting some brown spots from too much sun. And it was wonderful. I loved it. But I could go back and forth. That was my summer in 2022. Yeah. Now, where else would I park? When I'm in Tucson, I have my special places to park. You know, I do residential. Now, when I'm in Flagstaff, I have my special places to park in residential. You drive around and you find. Now, if you're working in your city, okay, you're working there, you know the city, you'll find places. You really will. And I will leave at the very end, I will leave links for the parking, because I have done videos about this. There's no reason to be scared. And really, courage comes from, you can say, I am courageous. When you do something you're afraid of, but you do it anyways, that's called courage, okay? Yeah, I love you guys so much. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today. And I know this information is useful. So I'm going to see you tomorrow, okay? Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you want to give me a gift, go to minivanlee.com and click on gifts. And I've got all different amounts. $5 is just fine. I love you guys. Till tomorrow. Mwah. Bye now.